everyone. I hope you're doing well. And this is your Royal Daily News for October 25th, 2022. In London, His Majesty King Charles III of the United Kingdom held an audience with Mr. Rishi Sunak inside the 1844 room at Buckingham Palace. During their meeting, His Majesty The King asked Mr. Sunak to become his Prime Minister and form a government on his behalf. After accepting His Majesty the King's offer, Mr. Sunak was appointed the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom and First Lord of the Treasury. Thereafter, His Majesty the King held an audience with His All Holiness Bartholomew I, the Ecumenical Patriarch of Constantinople, at Buckingham Palace. In Indre, Troms, Her Royal Highness Princess Ingrid Alexandra of Norway visited the Army Brigade North at Setermoen military camp. According to the Norwegian Royal Court, last week the princess visited the Royal Norwegian Navy. Both visits are the, quote, Norwegian Armed Forces gift to the princess in connection with her 18th birthday in January of this year, end quote. During today's visit, the princess tried, amongst other things, driving a storm-armored vehicle and tank. She also participated in a sanitation exercise where she helped evacuate a, quote, wounded, end quote, soldier on a stretcher. When speaking to a reporter at the end of her visit, the princess was asked what was the most fun and most memorable part of the day for you. The princess replied, quote, I think it is so difficult to choose. I can't say which is more fun. Everything is fun, end quote. During her visit to the Norwegian Royal Navy last week, she rode in a CB-90 fast military assault craft. At one point, the princess was at the helm of the MAC. The princess also took part in a navigation exercise on board one of the fastest naval combat vessels in the world, the KNM Glimt, also known as a Phantom of the Norwegian fjords. Meanwhile, their Royal Highnesses Prince Carl Philippe and Princess Sofia of Sweden began their 2-day visit to the county of Värmland. The focus of the royal visit will be on inclusion, information impact, renewable energy, and sustainable production. The day began in the municipality of Setermoen to attend the inauguration of the Knostad wind farm. According to a press release, the Knostad wind farm consists of 8 of the most powerful onshore wind turbines in the world, the SG 5.8 170 turbines. The wind farm will also produce electricity for 26,000 households in Värmland. Thereafter, the royal couple visited the Grums Library, where they met with children and young people who participated in a reading project. The royal couple also met with members of the Youth Project Trust Agency, who shared their experience with the project. The royal couple also viewed an exhibition at the Grums Library by author and illustrator Miss Stina Bersind. Yesterday in Stockholm, His Royal Highness Prince Carl Philippe of Sweden, on the occasion of United Nations Day, attended the inauguration of Dag Hammarskjöld's memorial bust at the United Nations Monument next to the Maritime History Museum. The late Mr. Dag Hammarskjöld was the United Nations Secretary General and economist. On September 18, 1961, Mr. Hammarskjöld died in a plane crash in Ndola, Zambia. He was 56 years old. In Santander, His Majesty King Felipe VI of Spain attended the inauguration of the 7th edition of the Global Youth Leadership Forum held at the Palacio de la Magdalena. The 6-day forum gathers international leaders, experts, and businessmen to discuss and hopefully find solutions to the challenges facing today's society. The theme of this year's forum is entitled Sustainability, Reshaping the World, which addresses the, quote, way in which the world is trying to rebuild after COVID-19 from sustainability perimeters, end quote. In Vilnius, Their Majesties King Philippe and Queen Mathilde of the Belgians continued their state visit to Lithuania. The day began with Their Majesties accompanied by the President of the Republic of Lithuania, Mr. Gitanas Nausėda, and First Lady Diana, attending a high-level business meeting held under the theme Transition to a Sustainable Economy. Later in the morning, their Majesties visited the St. Michael's Church Heritage Museum. In the afternoon, their Majesties, the President and the First Lady, toured the historic town center and town hall of Vilnius, which in 1994 became a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Moments later, their Majesties visited the University of Vilnius, one of the oldest universities in Central and Eastern Europe. Whilst there, their Majesties met with Lithuanian students and Belgian exchange students at the Life Sciences Center. In the evening, their Majesties hosted a return concert for President Nauseda and First Lady Diana at the Philharmonic Institute of Vilnius. In Luxembourg City, His Royal Highness Hereditary Grand Duke Guillaume of Luxembourg, as honorary governor, held an audience with the newly elected president of the Lions Club International, Mr. Brian Sheehan from the United States, and his wife, Lori, as well as the new governor of the Lions Club Luxembourg, Mr. Vito Casson, and the former governor of the Lions Club Luxembourg, Mr. Nicolas Blais. The Lions Club International is a philanthropic association with roughly 1.4 million members spread across 50,000 clubs in 220 countries. The club provides humanitarian and community services to those in need. In Luxembourg, known as District 113, has 25 clubs across the country. Last evening, Her Royal Highness Grand Duchess Maria Theresa of Luxembourg, as High Patron, attended the 2022 Edward Steichen Award ceremony held at the Mudan Luxembourg Museum. During the ceremony, the Grand Duchess presented the Edward Steichen Award to Mrs. Eva Host and the Edward Steichen Luxembourg Resident Award to Mrs. Nika Schmidt. In Ban Len, Her Royal Highness Princess Raja Sarini Siri Bajra of Thailand, on behalf of His Majesty King Rama X of Thailand, presided over the royal Cathan ceremony held at the Wat Nuet Temple. In Amman, His Majesty King Abdullah II of Jordan presided over a taking of the oath ceremony of newly appointed members of the Constitutional Court at Al Husseiniya Palace. Under the Jordanian Constitution, members of the Constitutional Court serve one non-renewable 6-year term. In Manama, His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq Al Said of Oman, accompanied by His Royal Highness Crown Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa of Bahrain, participated in a meeting at the Bahrain Economic Development Board. Prior to the meeting, His Majesty the Sultan held a meeting at Al Shikar Palace with His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa of Bahrain. Yesterday afternoon at Muscat International Airport, His Highness Crown Prince Saeed Thiazen bin Tariq Al Said of Oman welcomed the Al Seb Football Club back home after the team won the Asian Football Confederation AFC World Cup Championships. This afternoon in Muscat, His Highness Saeed Azan bin Qais Al Said of Oman officially opened the 6th edition of the OFSEC Conference and Exhibition held at the Oman Convention Center. The OFSEC is the, quote, most comprehensive exhibition on fire, safety, and security. This year's conference will gather over 70-plus exhibitors from over 10 countries who will showcase our avant-garde solutions, latest technologies, cutting-edge innovations, cost-effective products, and services to meet the requirements of governments, businesses, industrial and commercial entities, aviation, construction, infrastructure, transportation, manufacturing, oil and gas, and utility sectors. End quote. And finally, on this day in royal history, in 2001, Her Royal Highness Princess Elizabeth of Belgium, Duchess of Brabant, was born in Anderlecht, the eldest child of their Majesties King Philippe and Queen Mathilde of the Belgians. The princess is currently a student at Lincoln College at Oxford University, where she is studying history and politics. And there you have it. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I will be back tomorrow on Wednesday, October 26th with all the latest royal news. Until then, I wish you all a wonderful Tuesday evening and a great day tomorrow. And don't forget to like, share, and, well, subscribe. Okay, take care, everyone. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.